Mm-mm-mm. I think check
Y'all.
my page.
Hey,
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 hey.
hey, hey. Go Boogie, go Boogie.
Oh my goodness. Happy Thursday to each and every one of you. I'm so excited. This is my first live since I've turned 34. Happy birthday to Boogie. Okay, I'm still celebrating and I'm so excited. I wanted to really kick off this new year of life. I know that we're coming swiftly to the close of September, swiftly to the fourth quarter of 2020. And I've really been doing some introspection, and I've really been looking at how I can show up in this digital space and what value I want to add. So I just want to start off by saying that you are phenomenal and valuable. And hopefully through my page, through these lives that I'm going to be doing every single Thursday at 8 o'clock, that you're going to be able to see that I'm enough, that you're enough, and together we can create her story, right? History. So my name is Shauntae Smith. I'm so excited to be here with you, and I have my girl here with me to kick off what I'm calling SOAR with Shauntae, right? It's crazy because both of our names are Shauntae, both of our middle names are Monique, and both of our last names end with the S. I'm Smith, she's Salter. It's crazy. We both were born and raised up north. We both now live in the South. And I was like, if there's anybody that I would want to help me kick off this conversation, it would be nobody else than my homegirl, my sister, my AP, Shauntae Salter. So I'm just gonna kind of lay the conversation and the foundation for us tonight. And then I'm just gonna bring her in. So when I was thinking about SOAR, I thought about an acronym, right? Success, opportunities, advantages, and realities. So every single Thursday, it's going to be like our own little real talk series. I hope y'all are ready for this. So tag a friend, tag a bestie, pull up some popcorn, you get what I'm saying, and let's get ready to soar. Tonight, this topic that I'm starting off is talking about the power of the Black woman. And I just want to kind of just start off with a definition because I think it's going to really help us with our conversation. Words are very important to me. And when I defined the word soar, I literally almost leaped out of my seat. And when I defined the word soar, it said to rise rapidly above the usual level and to increase quickly in amount, number, value, or high level. That is so powerful to me because as a Black woman and as Black women in general, we are carrying the burden. We are carrying the weight. We are carrying the promise of so many people on our shoulders that sometimes we feel incapable of soaring, about rising quickly, about changing atmospheres and really mounting up. So my contribution and my value to this digital space is to let every single woman that I'm connected to know that you are worthy of soaring. So I want to bring you on, Tay, really quickly. You are phenomenal in your own right. You're a mom of a beautiful young girl. You were a career professional. You've since retired 4.5 years ago, and you are successful in your own right. I want to throw this first kind of question to you. What does success look like for you?
Oh, success. Oh, she's just jumping with the hardest question first. Thanks. Okay. Success is such a different word, you guys, because I feel like, for me, success has changed. What I view as success has changed. Um, I think when I first started in entrepreneurship and was trying to, I'm a single mom, like Tay said, and when I started off, when I had my daughter at 21 years old, and so when I started off, I was on WIC. And trying to get approved for Section 8, but there was a very long waiting list for Section 8 when I tried to apply. So I definitely didn't have a great start, if you could call it that, and so entrepreneurship for me was a way of escape. It was me trying to create success for myself when I felt like I was in a space where there wasn't a glass ceiling, right? I felt like I was in a space where like, oh, you can go as far as you want and we want you to do well, but there was always this cap. And I was in the banking sector, where it's definitely not a place full of people who look like me. And so it was, I felt like a lot of my ideas and thoughts and things were always being taken, and I wasn't really getting a lot of credit for it. And I felt like used all the time. I felt like I was worked like a horse, but wasn't paid or compensated or even given, even acknowledged, not even compensation, not even acknowledging what I was doing and how I was making an impact, how I was changing the atmosphere, how I was making it a great place to work, or why we were always reaching our goals. Because obviously banking, although we have clients, our goal is to make money. And so we're trying to consistently open up accounts. And so when I thought about success then, it was stuff. If I have to be honest with you, it was the stuff. It was the things that I thought people needed to see so they would know that I was successful. What can I do so people can look at me and in first glance know I am money. I have this. I wanted that. So while I was overdrafting my account, I was more obsessed with brands than overdrafting my account and running up credit cards. Then now, when I have no credit card debt, like I have a very stable financial life at this point, and I'm less worried about spending money on that now. That it's very interesting because I was so obsessed with it before. Like I was obsessed with, when I make this amount of money, I'm going to get these bags and I'm going to get these shoes and I'm going to dress like this and I'm going to have that. And then that became my reality with as far as income. So for me, success changed. Success now looks like, to get to your question, success now looks like for me, peace. It looks like peace of mind. It looks like operating in my gifts. It also looks like helping other people operate in theirs. It also looks like being able to carry burdens for others if I can. So if there's a situation where I can help or alleviate something for someone, it's a privilege to be able to be someone that can be that holds that space for someone when I needed someone to do that for me. So for me, that's what success looks like. It looks like helping people. It looks like finding my purpose while still having financial stability. Success changed, especially for me, being, growing up in the church, and kind of feeling like, either, in order to be successful as a child of God, I either had to be poor and meager and, and have nothing. Or, it was the sleazy pastor that, everybody was like, oh, he taking everybody's money, and so because I come from all of, pastors and ministers and things of that nature, I was really always struggling with what success looked like to me and what also lined up with the will of God concerning me when it came to success, and making sure that I wasn't too puffed up, but that I got a good life because I like nice things. So I hope I'm not rambling too much, but that's kind of what success looks like to me. It looks like the peace. It looks like being able to help people. It looks like me operating in my purpose so that God can find me fruitful, and see that I'm multiplying the gifts that he gave me.
I think that that's wonderful because we went from an external kind of definition of success to something that is now internal, that can't be shaken and that can't be taken. I have a very similar story, born and raised in the church, and I will forever be a church baby. I absolutely love church. Okay. I will roll over the floor right now if you let me. Okay. But I think that growing up, it was a lot of expectations, especially because my family's in ministry. And then I started ministry at a young age. It was, this is the way ministry looks, and this is the way you're supposed to act. And then when you go out of the house, I think for the most part, all Black kids can say this. You representing God, you representing me, you representing this family. So it was a lot of pressure that I felt, you know. I have brothers, but I felt like I was, as a young girl, there were just a lot of things that I just can't do, because in the world you're taught there are double standards, right? Men can get away with things that women cannot, you know. Church men can get away with things that church women cannot. So I felt like I had to be perfect. Shauntae and I were talking a little bit earlier as we were preparing for this live. And hey, y'all that are coming in, that are preparing, as we were preparing for this live, and I was really talking about that we as women, we become what we experience, right? And this message of SOAR, I want to help women identify where they are, and to know that your world and your experience has shaped you, whether it's bad or good, whether it's helpful, healthy, or toxic, right? Your worldview is shaped by your experiences. And what I found is, because at a young age, I had dealt with trauma, right? My biological mom passed away when I was 7.5. My biological father decided not to be in my life. And then I had what I could consider a very brief stint of a dysfunctional family. And I felt like, even though I am an adult, even though I have successful things in the eyes of the world that will get likes, love, and shares, I've still been dealing with this invisible cape of a superwoman, that I have to be perfect, that I have to do things a certain way, that I literally have to mask all of my feelings, because the evil world is looking for a perfect woman in an imperfect society. So I did everything that they said will bring you success. I went to school, the best of them, right? I have degrees from Ivy League, but guess what? With a degree from Harvard University, it doesn't mean that I was fulfilled on the inside. I did it because I felt like that's what others wanted me to do. I went and got a career making really good income in my early 20s, but I never really wanted to work for anybody. That was the successful life. And where I am is, I have started to take off the labels and the limits that I felt were imposed on me. And to be honest, that I started to put on myself, because of how I felt people, or what people expected me to do, and how they expected me to respond. Shauntae has to be perfect. Y'all ever saw How to Get Away? Not How to Get Away. Lord, I've been binge watching Netflix too long. Y'all ever saw Why Did I Get Married Part 2? And Janet Jackson was perfect Patty. I felt that all of my life. I have to be perfect. I have to be right. Not understanding and actualizing that really came from a place of abandonment issues. That really came from a place of, if I do something that people don't like, they may leave me. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm sharing is, we become what we experience. And all of these invisible pressures prevent women from soaring. Thanks, Lamont. All of these invisible pressures prevent us. It weighs us down. And you're trying to figure out, why can't I level up in my career? Why is it that I'm too afraid to step into entrepreneurship? Why is it that I'm afraid of my own voice? Why is it that I'm scared to say that I'm successful as a Black woman? Because people are going to look at me differently. They're going to feel differently about me. I got to deal with competition. I got to deal with comparison. And there's not too many spaces for us that we can stand in our own strength and stand in our own power and be happy for what we've been creating. Tay, come on.
Girl, I mean, I'm sitting here like yelling, but that's why I put my phone on me, so I wouldn't be like interrupting you while you were talking. But no, it's just so beautiful. I mean, when you said, these experiences that create this reality that we live in, and I find it to be interesting. Sometimes the pressure that we put on ourselves, it can just be so suffocating. Can I be honest? It's just so suffocating. It's so suffocating to always, I don't know what this idea, and I don't know if I'm going off, I'm coming off my heart, but I don't know if I'm going off topic. But I know for me, this mindset, being a Black woman, especially, you guys, this conversation is so powerful, especially considering what we have going on right now, with the injustice that continues to perpetuate, in this country that we live in. where I feel Black women are really like we can feel nothing. You know, like everything that is thrown at us, it's just take it, take it, take it, take it, take it. You can deal with it. You're strong, you know, and then you wonder why there are so many angry, you know, quote unquote, you know, Black women, and they're angry because they're tired. They're angry because no one's helping them, you know, and you know, it's shut up, it's stay in a corner, it's, you know, I don't know, but it's suffocating. Can I just be honest? It's literally sometimes like gasping for air. And I was saying this to you know, Tay earlier. I know for me growing up in the church, and having family, my grandparents were, you know, very prominent in New Jersey, and heck, my uncle took over that church, and so my family ministers and things of that nature. So I have a family like literally like just aunts, uncle, everybody's a pastor or somebody's a choir member, director, they got a gospel CD out, child. That's how much my family's in church, right? And so for me, I felt like because of that, everybody was always watching me, but nobody ever saw me. I felt like everybody was always watching me. Everyone was always judging me. Everyone was always putting their issues on me. But nobody saw me. Nobody, and I don't know why we create that kind of space around it, but it was just very suffocating. And so I really appreciate you opening it up for, you know, talking about experiences and how they shape how we move throughout life. And it's very powerful. So yeah, Tay, but I love that idea that you shared, even with when it comes to what you viewed as success. So, what is success to you now, Tay?
I think success to me is literally just living a life of fulfillment. Like for me, I was raised to believe that success came before work only in the dictionary, but I'm successful not because of what I produce. I'm successful because of who I am.
That's beautiful.
For the longest, I'm 34 now, right? I'm going to drag that, y'all. Y'all just got to know this about me. I'm 34 now. You're going to hear it until I turn 35. Okay. 34. So I'm 34. And for the longest, people have wanted to befriend me, or I felt like it will come up in our conversation what I've done, what I've produced.
Mm,
And I it irritates me because I agree on one end, you should commend somebody for their accomplishments and you should celebrate what they've done. But I feel that who I am is so much more and it outweighs what I've done that I never felt that Shauntae as an individual was successful. I felt like I was successful because fill in the blank, who my family was, the school that I attended, the car that I drive, the place that I live. So for me, and none of that was fulfilling, that was perks to who I already was. So
mm,
I am embodying the fact that I am a living, breathing, walking, brilliant reflection of God. And that
yeah,
is successful because
that's
I've
beautiful.
overcome every trap, because I've pressed through every hard point, because
Wow.
I was broken and I endured and I became resilient because of it. Because I'm not what the society depicted that a ward of a court or an orphan should be. I am successful because I've overcome through God every hurdle that was placed in my way. So my success is not predicated on the money in my account, the car that I drive, or who I'm connected to. Shauntae Monique Smith is successful because she survived.
Ooh,
And
girl.
I honestly feel that as women, we need to big ourselves up. You and I were talking prior to going live that, and those of you that are live with us, I want you to drop your aha moments. I want this to be a dialogue. I'm really my heart's desire, you're going to come to learn this about me in the coming weeks, is I want to build a society and a remnant of people that I'm connected to that literally want to break every single barrier that is on your life. Like for me, my ideal connections are people that say, I know that I'm made for more. I know that I am resilient enough to soar, and I am worth the best of every world.
Mm,
In my career, in ministry, in the arts, in education, I am worth the best. So I want to, and I'm going to keep coming live until I organically create my tribe of women so that you can know that you are worthy of having it all. I feel like so many times as women, we have to pick and choose where we want to win. And I intentionally named this live The Power of the Black Woman because we have to, we move from success. Now we're moving to the O, opportunities. Opportunities don't readily come knocking for us, Tay. We have to grind. And I'm not here. I have friends that are part of, other ethnicities and things like that. And this is not about anybody else. Tonight, I'm talking to the Black woman. You never hear another community talking about, I got to grind. You just don't hear it. Why do women have to grind? Why are we always on the grind? Why do we always have to work so hard? Why do we always have to prove ourselves over and over again? That continues to tear apart our identity. That continues to strip us of our worthiness. Am I talking to anybody on this live tonight? That continues to make us feel that we are not enough. It has to be me and my 4.5-inch heels. It has to be me and the length of my hair. It has to be me and all of these laundry loads of credentials because apparently I'm not enough. We have to prove ourselves in relationships. We have to prove ourselves in different spheres that we walk in, be it church, be it business. You get what I'm saying? We have to jump through hoops and do so many things just for people to take us seriously. And to be totally honest, one of the reasons why I decided to leave corporate America and build something for myself is because I was totally in control of what I was building. I got tired of having to prove that I'm worthy. I graduated from Harvard. I graduated from Princeton, and you're still questioning me in a staff meeting. Like my brilliance is not enough. Actually, my brilliance is intimidating you, so you cap me at my pay grade. I'm in relationships and I desire to be married. I'm having conversations. And I know that it's not a blanket statement, but I get the conversation with men. You're so phenomenal. You have done so many things, but you're intimidating. So my success is capping me from being happily married. Are you kidding? I have to prove myself. So on one end, it's you have to do all of these things just to get attention. But then when you do those things, now you're at such a high pay grade that you're the cream of the crop. So for Black women, how I feel, it's almost like a catch-22.
Okay, there were so many parts when you first started where my eyes started welling up and then it would go down, then my eyes would well up and then it would go away. But it literally opportunities. And when you said, why is it only in our culture where everything is grind and everything is so like, when you said that, that's when my eyes started to water because I want to articulate this properly, but everything, I don't know why I think of the color purple, where all my life I had to fight. It's just I just feel that's the embodiment of the Black woman, especially in America, right? All my life I had to fight. I have to struggle. I gotta fight. You make fun of me for having my kid too young, and then I'm on government assistance, and then I say, okay, forget you. I'm gonna go start these businesses. Then you make fun of me for starting a business. You not this enough. You not that enough. Then I become successful in those businesses. Oh, now you change. You acting different. Hey, I hope you don't forget where you came from. Like it's just like this constant situation of just nothingness that it's just opportunities and also understanding that sometimes we don't always get opportunities and a lot of times we have to make our own opportunity. Hello.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to make our own way.
Let's lean into that a little bit. So, seeing opportunities and how do we identify that? What are some of the things that you've done in your life? Because in addition to entrepreneurship, you are creating some additional things of your own. How did you see an opportunity? How did you identify the role that you were supposed to take in life?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was introduced to it through the home-based business sector. I saw so many different women of color, excelling in that area. Statistically, 82% of women who make six figures or more, they do it through a home-based business. And so, when I saw that statistic, I wanted to be a part of that statistic. I wanted to be a part of that 82%. And thankfully I am, but it is because of that industry. And it kind of put me and exposed me to different conversations, to different, and I mean, literally, opportunities really have to do with exposure, y'all. What you expose yourself to. A lot of times, the reality that we live in is because we're not exposed to more. The more we're exposed to, the more we expect. The more we expect, the more God can rise to that occasion. I'm very big on God exceeding our expectations, but when you don't expect anything, you don't get anything. And so, for me, the more I was around people that were doing well in these different sectors, it allowed me to expect more, y'all. And so it made me want to start courses and content and things like that, and really get back in and dig deep in helping women heal, predominantly. I mean, all women, but really Black women who don't feel like they can talk to anybody, who feel like they have to be strong all the stinking time. And then on top of that, I want to erase that. What is strong anyway? Like, if you do cry, that you're not less strong. Like, this idea that I have to have no emotion and I have to deal with all of the trash that everyone throws at me, how they treat me, how they talk to me, do business, raise a kid on my own because the father wants to go do God knows what with God knows who. And I have to take care of the kids and make all the money and cook and clean and be skinny and lose weight and have long hair and go buy a butt, then go buy breasts, and then have a body that's snatched, and then, cook and clean this beautiful house, and then be perfect in church and dress perfectly for you, and then be successful, but not more successful than that man I'm talking to, because his insecurity won't allow me to be better than he is. Okay, so all these different hats that I have to wear, okay, it's tiring. Okay, it gets a little, okay. And if you guys can't tell, I'm the ghetto version of Shauntae. Okay, she's more Shauntae, more and I'm just like, bruh, really, what's good? I don't understand. It's like, it's too much, y'all. It's just too much. It is, again, I go back to this word of suffocating. And so we have to, a lot of times, I know for me, I said, okay, y'all don't want to give me an opportunity, I'm gonna make my own. You don't want me to come in this room, I'm gonna slide up in this room. And not only that, if y'all don't want to give me a table, I'm gonna make my own table. Period. That's what happened, Tay. That's what I've done. That's what I continue to do. That's what I will always do. That's what I will always, and then not only will I always do that, I will always make a table that's big enough for everybody to sit with me.
There we
Period.
go. There we go.
Yeah,
There
come sit with me because they don't want us in here.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I am literally at the place that I'm determining to show up and to show out.
Yeah.
And for everybody that's live, again, drop your aha moments. I just want to totally put some balance to this conversation because I'm all about testosterone, okay? And my friend Juliet said, capable men are not intimidated by successful women. And I totally agree. I totally believe that that is absolutely right. So that's not a blanket statement. Ain't nobody against men. I feel like a lot of who I've been encountering, you get what I'm saying, has caused me not to settle. And that's another conversation for another day, right? Because I feel like as women, oftentimes, at least I've experienced it, that in order to be happy, I have to dim my light. I can't be fully who I am. And I am not okay with that. I don't care if it's a relationship, a job, a position, or a title. I am not okay with not fully showing up because it took me too long to get here. Like, is any women feeling me? Like, it took me too long to accept me. It took me too long to embrace me, that I am no longer okay with anybody telling me I only want 60% of you, or only 75% of that version can show up. Like, you're getting 100% or you're getting nothing at all. And I am literally, I feel like I'm getting a little grizzly, like the older that I get, because I really want to empower women to know that you are worthy of soaring. This is not against any other nationality, Black women. This is not even against a gender. It's specifically to us. We are worthy. We are capable. We are appointed. We are anointed. We are brilliant enough. You are creative enough. There is nothing wrong with you. I don't care if you've had a child or if you've had five. I don't care if you've done things in your life that you're not proud of. You can still seek out opportunities. And here we go with the A. There are advantages to being a Black woman. I don't think that we lift that up enough in our country. There are advantages to being a woman, and then there are advantages to being a Black woman. I went to a historically Black college. Bennett for Women is one of two in the country, right? It's Bennett and it's Spelman. And you couldn't tell us, Bennett Bells, we do it well. And I know that there are some people from other HBCUs that may be live or that may be catching a replay. It's something about walking into a Black college or a Black university that your shoulders are squared. And it's like, after those 4 years, I felt invincible. After those 4 years, I felt like I dare somebody to come up to me and tell me that I'm not enough. Honey, I am equal. Okay. I am equal. And I really believe that we have a responsibility to uphold because of our history, because we have those that have gone before us that literally died so that we can vote, literally died so that we can have a voice, so that we can be equal with going live on Facebook. Like, you have something to share, Black woman. You have something to offer. You have something that needs to be deposited into this world. And I'm gonna throw it to you really quick, Tay, but I just want to say this because it's on my mind. As a woman, our one of our greatest gifts is that whatever is deposited into us, we multiply. Let me just say that. You are a multiplier. You know how phenomenal you are? Think about a baby, right? A man gives us a seed, and in 9 months, we're like, here, I took what you gave me, I incubated it in a hidden place, I cultivated that thing, I brooded over it. I didn't allow anybody to hurt it. I didn't allow anybody to attack it. I was able to give it nourishment. And in 9 months, just give me a little while. I promise you, I'll give you something full grown and mature. That's how powerful we are. And then on top of that, you put Blackness. On top of that, and you can find me even in the Bible, you get what I'm saying? You can put Blackness on top of that. So on top of incubation, we're resilient. Black woman, on top of maturing things in hidden places, you are strong. You are beautiful. Okay. So,
Tay,
advantages. What are some of the advantages that you feel like? Because I feel like we talk about the things that are hidden from us, or the walls that we have to jump over and everything that we have to do. But kind of give some insight and some relief to a woman that's listening or that may be catching this replay about some of the beautiful things that have happened in your life, Tay.
beautiful things. Man, who doesn't love a good comeback story? I think the beauty of when I think about my testimony and how faithful God has been and how consistent He's been, and you guys, I really want this conversation for you to know and to be. I want you to feel this is just a safe space for you, um, to be open and to share, right? Because I feel like there's so many spaces where we have to be something else, and this is really meant for you to have a safe space to share. So, but for me, I think what was beautiful was overcoming everything, being someone that was looked down on, and being able to grow and to see that miraculous change, which I think only comes through struggle. I know this may not sound perfect, but I can only tell my story how it is for me. For me, the struggle, the difficulty is why I'm able to survive. It's why I'm not only able to survive, I've thrived. It's why I know why I've been able to have a lot of success, because I'm built for it. I'm just built for it. And I wouldn't have known I was built for it had it not been through adversity. So for me, I think the advantage is, I love that you said we're multipliers, because I want to encourage, one, those who are around us. We have to make sure, this is why it's so important that we pay attention to who we have around us, because we multiply what's around us, y'all. This is why our circles are important. Who we call friend is important. Who we decide to be in a relationship with, romantic or otherwise, is important, because we multiply what we're given. So make sure that the seeds that are being planted in you are seeds that you want to see multiply. Hello,
That's so
somebody.
good. That's so
And
good.
so I think it's important that we take the time to understand that. And so I feel like for me, a lot of the seeds that were planted in me, some of them were adversity. A lot of it was reading books and being around very strong, praying, prophetic women who spoke life into me, and who were strong, and taught me how to war in the spirit, and how to also travail in the spirit, to the point where I'm like, all right, God, I'm knocking on his door, like, open up, Lord, and so those lessons, man, those lessons. And I think that just the culture of um who we are. And I think the reason why, I know, for me, I think the reason why we have to put so much love into it is because we're kind of told for so long that we're not good enough, we're not pretty enough, and so we have to do a lot of this, black girl magic. We have to do a lot of this, melanated. We have to talk like this because we're in a world where we're kind of told you're ugly, your nose is too big, your hair is too kinky, you're too sassy, your sassiness comes off as too aggressive, when someone else could be could be cursing their mouth. I mean, I worked with so many women, who are white, and they would curse all the time, and I didn't curse. And I was considered to be the aggressive one, because I would speak with confidence, and it would always come off, or it was translated in corporate America as, you said that aggressively, or you don't have to. And it's like, okay, you can curse at me, right? And me explaining myself without talking like that it was just so much of it was just so many different situations. So for me, I think the advantages are, you know um the being able to bounce back through struggle, the being able to multiply what you're given, the ability, like the old folks used to say, how you can kind of make something out of nothing, okay, and turn it into something. And so for me, when I look at my life, it's like, I literally, the life I have now, it came from nothing. Okay. And I really believe I learned that from the women that were around me. So I would say those are the advantage. I was built for this. And I
Mhm.
think that we have a unique advantage where it comes that we're built for this. When I think about your story, Shauntae, of saying, I was going to be awarded the state, and all the accomplishments and accolades, and how your testimony, and how you speak, and how you love people, and the conference I was able to see you have last year, and just watching you, just your impact on the world and your community. What a story, sis. Like, it's just beautiful to me. And so those would be the advantages, I would say.
I think that that's powerful. I would add to that, and thank you for lifting up, and highlighting my story. I'm gonna kind of extend your conversation on. I will always build a table long enough for other people. I literally want people to leave better. I'm gun ho, like I'm coming for this digital space because I need women like we're in 2020. Like, let's just kind of like round this conversation because we're coming to the end. I don't want this to be super long, but we're in 2020, September the 24th. If not now, then when? When are we going to rise up? When are we going to own our voice? And there, let me put a caveat to this. There are so many of us who are, right? But I believe that where there's unity, there's strength. There needs to be more of us. And my value add is I'm going to keep almost like the igniter in a fireplace. I'm going to keep fanning the flames until you turn all the way on. And I believe that we need more of that visual sign of sisterhood, because everybody on social media is not hating on you. I'm not. Everybody on social media is not trying to outdo you. I think that is a toxic mentality, and we've highlighted that to be the majority. But I am of the persuasion that I want to be connected with powerful Black women, because you're going to strengthen areas where I'm weak and vice versa. Iron can only sharpen iron. Iron can harm copper. Iron can destroy a diamond. But if you have somebody that is made of like quality, so it is of an essence that you come up, that I come up, that we level up, and we make advantages if we can't find any. Ooh. The advantage is we know how to create, we know how to multiply, we know how to birth. We know how to incubate. We know how to support, just in case you were a little unsure of what you can do. And I'm not even talking about always cheering somebody else on. I'm talking about sometimes, sis, you got to get in your own room and you have to cry with that journal, and you have to scream and holler that I will produce. This earth will know that I am here. I am not going to leave this year without every promise that is mine, without me birthing that book. Some of y'all need to go ahead and write the book. Without me releasing that course, without me, writing that curriculum. There is greatness on the inside of you, and you've been multiplying for years, and you've been growing for decades, and you've been expanding. And some of you, because you don't know if you have what it takes in this digital space, you're hiding. But I've come for you today to tell you to come out of hiding. There is so much advantage in you going live. Y'all, let me just be transparent, okay? I talk for a living. I talk way too much, okay? I literally can talk to strangers on the street. But it has been almost to the point of me being paralyzed from coming on Facebook Live. But now that I'm here in this space, I feel so alive, because this is what I'm called to do. So here is, a news flash for those of you. The area of your greatest doubt is where you're going to experience breakthrough. That's the advantage. The advantage is you taking every lie and you making it potential for somebody else. You taking every ounce of doubt and you mixing that together with wisdom, with time, with preparation, and you coming on to help cut somebody else's learning curve. Because when you show up, you're speaking your wisdom, your power as a woman. You're going to collapse time for somebody else, so they don't have to take as long as you took, so they don't have to go through the same things that you did, so they don't have to jump the same hurdles that you've already overcome. We need you, sis, to show up, to be successful, to create and seize every opportunity, to actually walk into the advantages. Watch this. This is SOAR. And then to create a new reality. In the midst of what this country is saying, I double dog dare you to create a new reality. You have what it takes. 2020 is the year of the mouth. 2020 is the year of your words. We have a little less than 100 days left in this year. What are you going to speak to create a new reality. I got to go just to the Bible for 30 seconds. It says, better is the end of a thing than the beginning. And I just believe that many of you that are live, that are going to be catching this replay, you're going to be able to end 2020 better than it started because you determined that it's time for you to soar. You're going to create a new reality. What does that look like, Tay? Practical stuff, getting into personal development, reading books, strengthening your weak areas, posturing up, getting bold. One thing you're going to learn about me, my dad hates when I say it, but squinch your butt cheeks together and do it afraid, right? You're going to have to decide to show up, and you're going to have to decide to show out. Your reality is in your mouth. Your reality is in your work ethic. Your reality is abandoning procrastination and getting to the work. Your reality is desiring not to necessarily grind, but I'm going to prepare. Your reality can change in the next 3.5 months if you decide, I'm tired of low level thinking. I'm tired of just being sad. I'm tired of complaining. I'm tired of whining. I'm tired of not winning. I'm tired of not having good friends. I'm tired of being in toxic relationships. When you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, I bet you'll determine that you're going to soar. When you determine, I'm a little too low, all my friends are up there, all my aspirations are up there, all my dreams are up there, and the only thing that's separating me is time and opportunity, let me get to work. I believe that you can create a new reality. Success, opportunities, and advantages are yours if you would just do the work. Tam, I'll throw it over to you.
What do I say after that, Shauntae? Nothing. There's nothing to say. I don't even know why you threw it to me, sis. Just end it. It's over. What I'm supposed to say? I don't know what to say. It's too good, y'all. Because for me, hearing this, talking about creating my own reality, and her saying, you guys, if you know anything about me, I'm so big on being careful about what we say and that we can create the life that we want. Because I know for me, I realized that this reality that I had, this reality of being on government assistance, this reality of, overdrafting my account, this reality of begging someone to help me, this reality of hoping somebody would see me, this reality was no longer serving me. And so I said, okay, I'm going to start to speak what I want to see. I'm wealthy. I'm smart. I have great friendships. And so, just to reiterate and add that practical application, you guys, be careful about what you're saying. This opportunity, this conversation for you to soar, this was meant to love on you. This was not meant to make anybody, who's not black or brown feel excluded, but it was meant to help you understand. Sometimes you just need a moment where you're open and honest about, it is hard, sis. I get it. There is a lot of pressure to be everything to everybody. And sometimes we forget to be something for ourselves. We are so busy helping every single person. We're being a mom, we're being a good wife or a girlfriend or whatever it is. We're so busy doing for everyone else, we forget about our own reality. Wow. And then at the very beginning of the conversation, we said, what does success look like for you? And Tay said, it looks like fulfillment. So I want to add fulfillment to your reality. The beginning is how we're going to end it. Let's say that success looks like fulfillment. What is going to fulfill your heart in this season? What advantages can you use even through your struggle, right? Through your test, there's the testimony, and that testimony is going to allow you to change your reality. She even said, hey, I was nervous to do this, but this is where my breakthrough is. Getting uncomfortable, speaking your truth, sharing what feels and heals you. I just feel like we need more opportunity, y'all, to just heal. We need more spaces where you allow your sisters to heal. That every time when something gets hard, it does not mean that she's not strong. It just means it hurts. Sometimes it hurts. And I want you to know that on your way to creating the reality that you desire, it might hurt. This might hurt a little. It might hurt to kill the flesh that created poverty and scarcity and lack and unforgiveness and holding grudges. Yeah, it might hurt to let go of that and bad thinking and negative thinking and toxic relationships and passive aggressive tendencies, right? To let these things go and to have more peace, have more compassion, have more patience, operating in more gratitude, looking for fulfillment, not being so consumed by what everybody else is doing, but being so consumed with what my Father is telling me to do, being so consumed with the will of God concerning me, right? And as I do that, creating a table for other people to sit with me. Let me tell you something. It is not lonely at the top. It's only lonely at the top for those of us who you're so full of yourself, you don't want to open up a table for nobody else to sit with you. Okay? It's not lonely at the top. It's not. I don't know who told you that. I don't know why we perpetuate that. It's not lonely at the top. It's lonely when you attract negative thinking, stinking thinking people. But if you create an atmosphere where everybody is elevating, for me, you're not a boss if you're the only one that makes all the money. Real bosses, we create an atmosphere where everybody is put on and we're all creating this wealth and this success. And as we close out this year, I just want you to be empowered, sis. I love you. I send love and joy and peace. And this live is so powerful because in a space where Black bodies are being murdered, even still in 2020, in a space where a Black woman can't even lay in her bed without being murdered and people getting away with it, in a space where, and I hope I don't start crying because I am a crybaby, but in a space where this is what our reality looks like sometimes, y'all, we need spaces where we can decompress, where we can come together even right now and know that there is so much power in you and that we don't view our skin, even our gender, as a death sentence, because sometimes it might feel that way, but that it is an advantage and that you can use it to your advantage to change your reality. I pray that you, if you don't have it, I pray that you start to ask God, God, send me phenomenal friendships. Send me sisters who love me and pray for me and go before me and think about me and send prayers, even if I don't always talk to them. I know that as we continue to have that around us, like Tay said, we're multipliers. There's when you are getting fed into with so many positive sisters who speak life into you, you have no choice but to produce fruit. You have no choice but to produce fruit. So I want you to know that you are fruitful, sis. Go be fruitful. Go multiply. And you don't have to be with babies unless you want it to be. But go be fruitful with your gifts. Go multiply. Go open up doors for other people behind you who are looking for opportunities. Understand your advantages. Define what success looks like for you. And when you define what success looks like for you, you will change your reality. Tay, I'll throw it back to you. That's all I got to say.
I
That's the
think
best I could do.
no, I think that was a phenomenal recap. And what I the only thing that I think that I will add to that, because you said it all, is always make sure that your motives are pure.
Yeah,
That's something that I'm really big on. Me soaring doesn't mean that you can't soar.
absolutely.
I am here to add value to this space, to push back the limits and the boundaries that only a few of us can win. No. The women that I know that are connected to me that are going to win are the women that want to win. You elevating in life is not going to be at the expense of somebody else
My
having to lose
goodness.
everything.
My
So
goodness.
our motive is pure. Sometimes we may mess it up with our method, right? But our motive is pure, that I don't just want to be the only one eating. I don't want to be the only one at the table. I don't want to be the only one at the top. I don't want to be the only one thriving. And I think when we start to think in terms of the other, That's when true soaring happens. See, last thing I'll say, and we're going to get packed into this. When you think about soaring, you're thinking about eagles, right? Or birds. There may be one bird at the top that is pushing against the resistance, but they have an army of birds that are following, but everybody has their place. Everybody has their space and no one is hating on the person, because guess what, it's going to be the person at the top that gets tired. They're going to be able to fall to the back of the line and somebody else is going to be able to lead. So as we end this first session, know that your time is coming. Know that you are needed. Know that you are worthy of soaring. And there is an army of women who are ready and waiting to cheer you on, to support you, to pray for you, to encourage you, and that won't allow you to drop in altitude. I love you so much. Thank you for joining us. Tay, thank you for being my first guest. I will be with you guys next Thursday at 8 o'clock. Prepare yourselves, put an alarm on your phone, and let's have some more conversations. Thank you for tuning in for Soaring with Shauntae. Good night, everybody.